When the call to prayer echoes quietly from a small masjid in a busy American city, when a young Muslim woman walks confidently in her hijab through Times Square, when a child recites Allahu Akbar before eating at school, something beautiful, yet fragile, is happening. Islam is alive in America. But the question remains, will it be safe here? Decades ago, the word Muslim in America carried fear, misunderstanding, suspicion. Media headlines painted us as outsiders, strange, foreign, even dangerous. But today, things are changing, quietly, powerfully, and with a divine rhythm that cannot be stopped. The masjids that once stood empty now overflow with believers on Jumu'ah. The Qur'an that once sat dusty on a shelf is now being read in living rooms across the country, by people whose parents never knew what Islam even was. So, will Islam be safe in America? To answer that, we have to ask something deeper: can truth ever truly be silenced? Every day, new Muslims rise from the ashes of confusion and find peace in the words, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. A former soldier finds Islam after years of trauma. A college professor leaves behind doubt after reading the Quran for the first time. A young woman, once lost in a world of filters and fame, finds modesty as her crown. This is not a movement of force. It's not a trend. It's not politics. It's light. And light doesn't ask for permission to shine. It simply does. But the question of safety is not just about acceptance, it's about faith under pressure. Yes, Muslims in America face challenges. Hate crimes. Discrimination. Suspicion at airports. But history shows, Islam thrives in struggle. When the Prophet was driven from Mecca, Islam didn't weaken, it spread. When believers were oppressed, they didn't fade, they rose. And that same spirit flows through every Muslim who holds fast to faith in a land where temptation is everywhere, and truth is constantly tested. Still, there's another side, one filled with hope. Interfaith dialogues are happening. Non-Muslims are fasting during Ramadan to understand their Muslim friends. Neighbors are visiting masjids for open houses. And millions of Americans are learning that Islam isn't a threat, it's a mirror showing humanity what peace truly means. A recent study showed Islam is the fastest growing religion in the United States. Conversions are at an all-time high, especially among women and youth. For every attack on Islam online, there's someone Googling, what is the Quran? And more often than not, that simple search changes a life forever. But what about the future? What happens when the media turns its lens again? What happens when politics tries to divide? That's when Islam's true safety will be tested, not in numbers, but in hearts. As long as Muslims in America pray together, raise their children with faith, and live Islam with kindness, the light of this deen will never be extinguished. Even if masjids are few, the Quran will still be recited. Even if hate rises, the adhan will still echo. Even if fear returns, hearts will still whisper, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. The Prophet said there will never cease to be a group from my ummah manifest upon the truth, unharmed by those who oppose them, until the command of Allah comes. That group, today, could be the Muslim youth in Chicago fasting alone in college. It could be the convert in Texas teaching her children Surah Al-Fatiha. It could be you. So, will Islam be safe in America? Maybe the better question is, will America be safe without Islam? Because Islam brings peace where there's chaos. Discipline where there's temptation. Purpose where there's emptiness. And maybe, just maybe it's not Islam that needs protecting. It's America that needs Islam. As long as there are hearts that say La ilaha illallah, Islam will never die. Not here. Not anywhere. And maybe. That's exactly what America needs to hear. Muslims in America are not just part of the story anymore. They are the story. And they're rewriting what it means to be Muslim and American. Still, the question remains, will Islam be safe in the future? The answer depends on all of us. Because Islam's safety in America doesn't rest only on the Muslim community. It depends on the willingness of society to protect freedom for everyone. It depends on allies who speak up when prejudice appears. On teachers who teach the truth about Islam's role in history, not the myths. On neighbors who don't look away when hate shows its face. And that's happening quietly, powerfully, across the country. After every act of hate, there are more acts of love. When a mosque is vandalized, communities come together to clean it. When a woman is harassed, bystanders defend her. When people spread lies about Islam, others speak up with facts, compassion, and courage. The truth is, Islam's story in America isn't one of fear, it's one of faith and resilience. Muslims have fought in every American war, built businesses, served in hospitals, and raised generations of children who love both their country and their Creator. So yes, Islam is safe in America. But that safety isn't automatic. It's earned and protected every single day. Every time someone chooses to learn instead of fear. Every time a teacher tells her students that Islam means peace. Every time a mosque opens its doors and says, "Come see for yourself." That's how Islam stays safe, not just by laws, but by hearts. Because when one faith is threatened, all faiths are. When one community is silenced, freedom for everyone is weakened. And when one group stands up for another, that's when America becomes what it was meant to be.